I think that's where it all started at. We probably had one of the most competitive neighborhood around every sport, every season. Whatever it was, we came out and started playing it year round. Every Saturday morning during the week, guys get out there and play competitive. Everybody want to beat you. You know, everybody want to win. So it's not like it's a friendship game. You know, everybody's out for blood, trying to do the best they can. And as the years pass, they just develop your talent. And I was small for a long time, so played a lot of basketball, softball, baseball, things like that. But then football came on late. I always wanted to go to Grambling. But actually, when I finished high school, I didn't have a scholarship for football. You know, there was a game in New Orleans that Coach Rob had asked the coaches down there to allow me to play in. And that's when I got my scholarship to Grambling. Other than that, I was mostly playing basketball. And in fact, Senator Shawbear tried to get me to go to Nichols, you know, but I ended up going to Grambling. You know, I mean, come on, I started from a young man and grew up to be a man and had one of the greatest coaches that ever coached, not just for sports, but just as a person. And Grambling just, I mean, it did everything for me. You know, gave me an opportunity to go to school. I drafted, had a career, and it didn't have to be. You know, I thank God and I thank putting Grambling in my life. Well, we probably had one of the greatest public relationship man during that time, Mr. Colin Nicholson. And anything that Grambling did, it was in the newspaper, it was on the map, and everybody got to know about him. For the first couple of years, I was just at Grambling trying to survive, play ball, go to school. Then during my later years, at junior and senior year, they started talking about possibility of playing professionally, going in the draft. Then during the senior year, they was actually saying could be a number 1 pick. Thing about it, during those days, you just get drafted. I was sitting in Deweyville in my hometown, my neighborhood, in the house by myself when I got the phone call. Now you're on TV and the whole works, but yeah, I was sitting in the house and received a call from the Steelers saying that the draft's about to come up. We're going to be selecting you in the first round. When you play with a group of guys during that era, and the competitiveness and the talent that they had, you had to enjoy it. You know, every game you play and you feel you're going to win the game. You had a chance to win. You know, in fact, we used to, during training camp, a roommate of mine, we would look at the schedule and start checking off the victories during the year. And then we get to a team that really is good, we just put a question mark. We never say they're going to beat us. We just put a question mark by it. That had been my wish. I wish I could have played in a warm climate, grass. I could have been maybe one of those guys that played 20 years, you know, because that makes a difference. But you're saying Pittsburgh, look where I was traded to, Buffalo. So it's 10 degrees colder in Buffalo. Maniacs, it was crazy about the Bills. And they had a coach named Chuck Knox that was a player's coach. And the atmosphere was great, you know. Just unfortunate that we didn't put it together as fast as the group came behind us, but it was nice playing over there.
The senior member of the Bills' receiving partnership was Grambling graduate Frank Lewis, only the 3rd Buffalo player ever to gain 1,000 yards catching passes. Lewis had 5 100-yard days last fall, one of them in Baltimore, where he convened a clinic for the confused Colts. Lesson 1. Frank Lewis can beat single coverage. Lesson 2. Never ignore lesson 1. Lesson 3. In the middle, Lewis can create a muddle. Lesson 4. Occasionally, supernatural assistance may be required. Frank Lewis. In 1979, he took no prisoners.
Out of the 13 years, 11 of them, I came home every off season. So, you know, it's not like I was thinking about really moving anywhere but home. The only thing I would look at the difference in from now and back in those days, man, they can run straight up the field, just running seam patterns and get away with it. Man, during our days, I think somebody would have been ducking a few times trying to get out the way of people, but you know, they able to run and get to the clear area. I don't remember being able to do that too much. Look, I didn't get a lot of passes thrown my way during my career, and they had people in my face trying to bump and run, and then someone picking me up when I shake him or leave him or put a move on that guy. And I wasn't the guy that had a lot of balls thrown, so you can imagine the guys that's playing today, they don't have that challenge. They can get open. It's amazing to see how they let them do that. I always tried to not to be so high and not to be so low, you know, because then you don't hear the boos. You know, you don't hear just the cheers. And I had that attitude all along about sports. But, you got to think about it when people honor you and want to give an award and think of it like that. You know, it's a humbling experience, and I really appreciate it. Well, I'm still working. I work with for the LAT Workforce Development Board, local board between Terrebonne, Lafourche, and Assumption Parish. The board member consists of 23 people. That's some of the finest people to work for, and I'm still enjoying life and working right now.